All right, welcome back to SportsLine. We're going to get right back to the phones and talk to not my friend, not my enemy. He's my frenemy. Philip in Nashville on line one. Now, Philip, what is this crazy notion that the Super Bowl was fixed the other day? Is this another one of your crazy conspiracy theories?
Look, first of all, I've always got your back.
I know you do.
And you should be on the air 3, 4, 5 nights a week as far as I'm concerned. But, that aside, hear me out.
All right, man. Bring it. What do you got?
I'm not talking about conspiracies. I'm not talking about black helicopters. I'm not talking
Shooters on the grassy knoll, nothing like that tonight?
No grassy knolls. I'm not talking about, the Panthers players were involved. I'm not talking about the Denver Broncos were involved.
Mm-hmm.
I had multiple opportunities to gamble on this game.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I did not, and I told everyone that I had an opportunity to do it with, was that the NFL officials would see to it that Peyton Manning won this Super Bowl. You're going to hate this.
No, I'm not. You know what, Philip? You're not the first person that told me that. I'm going to be honest with you. Somebody told me that the night before a game. And I've met people over the years that would swear on a stack of Bibles that, certain games are fixed. Now, are we ever going to be able to prove it? Probably not. But you're not the first person that told me that. I don't believe it, but you're not the first person that told me that. So
how can we not prove it? This goes back to, and this is what you're going to hate, this goes back to Pittsburgh, Seattle, Jerome Bettis.
No, I know.
Troy.
I know.
That was the absolutely worst lopsided officiated game.
I agree with you. I was there. I agree with you.
So
there were some horrible calls in that game that went against the Seattle Seahawks.
Here we go again. Carolina gets the ball for the first time. They're down 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a human being alive with a straight face that can say that was not a catch.
Oh, the Jericho Cotchery play where he bobbled it and gathered it in? Yeah, that was definitely a catch.
The only person who could say that that was not a catch is the person in the zebra stripes that went under the hood and looked at that play and came out and had the audacity to say, oh, that's not a catch.
Well, that's not what he said, Philip. In fairness, they said the play stands. The ruling on the field was incomplete pass. They said the play stands. They didn't say the play was confirmed.
How can you look at that review and say the play stands? Tell me, please tell me what he saw on that replay.
I know.
Everybody else saw that made him come out and hit his little microphone and go, the play stands.
I know.
It's unacceptable.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying. There are a lot of calls where I scratch my head, Philip. I got to let you go, man. I got a lot of calls, but hang in there, brother. Get help. We love Philip. He's the best. All right. Brad, what's up? You're on line 2. Go ahead.
Yes, I was, before I retired, and I caught your part of your commentary about Cam. It seemed just right. It's just that people were attacking Cam.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say I appreciate your commentary, what you were saying, and trying to bring education to people that a lot of them really don't know what they're talking about. Now, I played ball in high school, college, 1 year in a service when I was on Okinawa.
Mm-hmm.
7. I stand corrected. When over 67, they started feeding in. But I just want to commend you, for the part of your comment that I heard.
Well, I appreciate that. And one thing I want to reiterate, I'm not defending what he did after the game, but, again, that's his prerogative. He's going to do what he wants to do. We all have certain boxes we like to put certain athletes in, and we want them to do certain things and say certain things. And, look, A lot of us have been spoiled for the last 18 years with a guy like Peyton Manning, but this is a new generation, and not everybody's going to have that kind of wherewithal like Peyton Manning. Who's to say Cam Newton in a couple of years isn't just like Peyton Manning? A previous caller said something that I thought registered pretty well. Who's to say in 4 or 5 years he doesn't come out and say, you know what, man, I was a real you-know-what back then, and I learned that, I need to be gracious in defeat and I need to be humble in victory. Or he may say, you know what, this is how I am and I'm not changing. You can either deal with it or not. Either way, there's nothing we can do about it, so why get worked up about it?
Right. I didn't care for his emotions, but I support him in acting that way because, he didn't try to hide his emotions. He showed the whole world, the whole planet, how he felt about losing or his performance or however he felt.
Mm-hmm.
He was man enough to show it. And there are not many men or women on this planet that has the intestinal fortitude to do that. And, you have to admire a man like that. You don't have to like him. I personally, I like it. I don't know him, but
right.
I like him. But I was proud of him, and I stand behind the way he acted because he was showing how upset he was at how the game turned out.
And what did he say afterwards? And thanks for the call. He said, you show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser. Not everybody deals with things the exact same way or the way that maybe we want them to. That's just kind of the reality of it. Chip, you're on line 6. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Going back to Cam Newton.
Yes, sir.
Everything he touched this season was gold. And when it got tarnished, he didn't react well.
Mm-hmm.
2 things. One is, when I was in my 20s, I wouldn't know myself now. And number 2, I remember years ago, I believe, Dan Marino lost the Super Bowl in his rookie season with the Dolphins and didn't react real well to it, as I recall.
Yeah.
Thank you for your call.
Thanks. It was actually his second season, but I definitely know where you're getting at. All right. David on line 5. What do you got, David?
Hey, JB, how's it going, man?
It's going great.
I got 2 quick questions for you.
Is one of them about Pistol Pete Maravich, and is the other one about Vandy baseball?
You know me and Pistol Pete, but I had 2 Vanderbilt questions for you real quick.
Okay, we're talking about Cam Newton, so make him super quick.
There you go. Until we get a different head coach at Vanderbilt for football, we're going to have the same problem we had last year.
Okay, and what's your other Vandy point?
Okay, we get Coach Stallings as a basketball coach there. If they don't go to the NCAAs, you know who I'd like to see go to Vanderbilt, and they would never do it, is Coach Knight's son, Pat. That's who nobody probably would like him because they didn't like Bobby Knight. But I would like to see Pat come to Vanderbilt. I believe that's what they take. And you have a great night.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that. All right, let's check in with Saul on line 3. What's up, Saul?
What's up, my man?
You got it, man. What do you got tonight?
Man, I think we're going at this the total wrong way, and we're critiquing these athletes off of silly stuff when we really should be grading them. I mean, they have a platform, a huge platform,
Mm-hmm.
to relay, messages to the world, to be honest with you. So I would really feel like we should be judging or critiquing these guys by ways that they've used their platform. Well, obviously creating foundations.
Sure.
Stuff they do.
And Cam Newton does all of that. He's very big in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. He's got all kinds of foundations set up. And I agree with you. I think they need to be judged on the whole. I mean, the fact that people just get so angry, why is this guy dancing and gyrating and doing this? Who cares? And if you want, and I'll let you finish your point, but I know somebody at some point is probably going to call up or email or whatever and say, well, think about the kids, JB. It's not a good example for the kids. Well, then you know what you do? as a parent, you pull your kid aside and you say, look, Cam Newton is an outstanding athlete. He's a great, great football player. But I don't want you to emulate what he does in terms of celebrations. I don't like that for you. So admire him for the athlete he is, but I don't like that. I don't want to see you doing that. End of discussion.
Right.
Sooner or later, you have to be a parent and tell your kids what you want and what you don't want them to do. It's as simple as that. Go ahead. Finish up. I'm sorry.
Hey, who's to say Cam doesn't spend the next 10 years doing so much, giving back to so much different people and being like an outstanding citizen, while on the other, perspective, the golden boy, is selling pizza and cable TV. So
right.
it's almost just like, how are we to critique these guys is really where we should be looking at this, opposed to wanting to get angry at somebody dancing or being goofy and stuff. I bet let's start looking at these people by how they use their platform and what they do in life to really give back to communities. And we should grade, almost like a report card of that, opposed to just looking at goofy stuff and arguing about silly stuff that doesn't matter, It's who you are as a person, really. I feel like we should be judging, opposed to how silly somebody reacts on a football.
Hey, well said. I couldn't have said it any better, and thanks for the call. I'll give you a perfect example. Deion Sanders, he's very flamboyant. He's the guy that kind of is the father of all this. But you know what? He's in the Hall of Fame. Every team he's played for, his teammates have sworn by him. They all said the same thing. He's a team guy. He's not a me guy. Again, as I said, he's in the Hall of Fame, and he's doing a lot of good. He runs a lot of youth camps. He's a man of faith. He's done a lot of spiritual things. He works, again, with a lot of young people, a lot of up-and-coming football players to get them right, and not only get them right on the field, but off the field. So it's hard to judge a person just because he likes to do a boogaloo in the end zone after he scores a touchdown, in my opinion. Dan, you're back on line one. What did I miss?
Hey, you missed nothing. I love this talk. This is very good banter. I just got to say this.
Yeah.
When it comes down to professional sports, it's like social media. Well, of course, the obvious tie-in. But is it Cam Newton or is it the Kardashians? My point is, it's family, it's faith, it's direction, and what do you want to do with your own personal life when you're making $7 an hour, or if you have a family that's making $100 million an hour? Maybe I'm reiterating my point. If Cam Newton has the ability to turn around, or the Kardashians, make millions and billions, what it comes down to is do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do the right thing. Tennessee State, too. I'm going to leave you on this one real quick. Watch what they do next year. That coach, watch out. Hashtag winner. Have a good night.
All right, have a great night. And with that, we're going to take another break. Come back. If you're on hold, stay there. I'm going to get to every phone call, I promise. It's been a great topic. Love talking about this with you. 737-7767 is the number to call. We're talking Super Bowl, Cam Newton. We'll try to get to some other happenings going on in the sports world, but we want to stick with your phone calls. Stay with us.